In the vast hall of the Galactic Council, quiet laughter spread as Captain Alina Merov showed off a plain human spacecraft. Around her, delegates from across the stars wore fancy clothes and stood by their impressive technologies. Next to these, her small ship looked almost too simple. The council members, decked out in advanced outfits, shared doubtful looks and chuckles. But Captain Merov stood strong, her face calm and serious. They didn't know it yet, but they were about to see something that would completely change their minds about what humans can do. The Galactic Council Chamber. The Galactic Council Chamber was huge and impressive, located on a space station circling a neutral planet. This is where leaders from powerful species across the galaxy came to meet. The room was shaped like a big dome, with walls showing moving pictures of far-off worlds and important space news. Above, a clear ceiling showed the stars shining in space, reminding everyone why they were there. Impressive technologies on display. On the ground, the latest space technology was on display. There were advanced weapons, smart machines, and glowing shields that were far beyond what Earth could make. In the middle of these amazing technologies, the area for the human group was very simple. They had just one small spacecraft that looked plain compared to everything else. This simple setup showed how little the rest of the galaxy thought of Earth. They saw it as a backward place with outdated technology. But this was about to change. Captain Alina Merov. Captain Alina Merov is a standard officer from Earth Space Command, known for her work in stealth technology. She specializes in controlling light and energy rather than fighting. This makes her a surprising yet fitting choice to lead this important mission. Her team includes top experts like Dr. Lion Shane, the chief engineer who created the special codes that make their stealth technology work. Beside him is Maya Rivera, a scientist who has made big advances in materials that can hide things by changing how they look. These materials are crucial to their project's success. A team with a mission. Together, this team represents some of the smartest and most talented people from Earth. Each member is motivated by their own reasons. Leon wants to honor the memory of his mentor, and Maya aims to prove her bold ideas are right. Under Captain Merov's guidance, they all share one goal: to turn doubt into admiration, to show that humans are capable of more than others expect. Today, in front of the galaxy's most important leaders, they're ready to show the progress Earth has made. They want to challenge the universe with what they've achieved. The mission unfolds. The presentation wasn't just a demonstration. It was a declaration. Humanity was no longer content to be seen as a minor player on the galactic stage. As the delegates continued to murmur and exchange skeptical glances, Captain Merov signaled for the demonstration to begin. A series of holographic projections filled the room, showing the journey of human technology from rudimentary beginnings to the advanced stealth systems they now possessed. The technological marvels. Discovering Phantom Weave. In a dark lab at Earth's most hidden research center, a group of smart scientists and engineers from around the world came together with one big goal: to change spacecraft stealth technology forever. Led by Captain Alina Merov, they started a project that would push the boundaries of what humans could invent and build. The journey to this amazing technology started by chance when a young scientist found that certain materials acted strangely when placed in very strong magnetic fields. These materials could twist light and other energy waves around them, making objects covered in them almost invisible to detection systems. Creating the Phantom Weave. This discovery gave the team the idea to use these materials to hide spacecraft. Using what they learned, the team created a new kind of material that could change its features to hide from not just electromagnetic sensors, but also heat and sound sensors. They named this material Phantom Weave. It was so good at blending in with space around it that it could make the spacecraft seem to vanish completely. Developing the Aura Shield. Alongside developing new materials, the engineers also built a special device called the Aura Shield to work with the Phantom Weave. This device created a gentle energy field around the spacecraft, slightly changing the space around the ship, making it harder for radars and other sensors to detect it. The aura shield needed to be very precise and efficient. It was made to use as little energy as possible so the spacecraft could stay hidden for a long time without using up all its power. Overcoming initial failures. Creating these technologies was not easy and faced many problems. The early versions of the Phantom Weave didn't always work well, especially in places with a lot of radiation from stars or deep in space. Sometimes the material would break down, and the spacecraft would become visible again. Also, making the aura shield work with the spacecraft's existing systems was more complicated than they thought. In the first tests, some of the drones stopped working and were lost in space when their energy fields failed. Persistence pays off, but the team didn't give up. They carefully looked at what went wrong each time, learned from their mistakes, and used this information to make everything better. Despite many problems, the team kept working hard. They were curious and deeply committed to making things better for people everywhere. They tested and improved their designs again and again, fixing each issue as it came up. The breakthrough test. Their hard work really paid off during a secret test where the new spaceship stayed hidden from the most powerful spy systems while it moved in tricky ways. This wasn't just a big win for technology. It showed the true grit and persistence of humans. As news of this success spread among Earth's top leaders, they began to plan a big show of this technology to the most important people out there: the Galactic Council. The planning room. The final preparations. As the big day for the Galactic Council meeting drew near, everyone at the Human Space Command was very busy and a bit nervous. Captain Elena Mirov, who always stayed calm, was right in the middle of the action, making sure everything was set to go perfectly. In the planning room, you could hear the quiet buzz of computers and the soft sounds of people talking. Elena and her main engineers stood around a 3D image of the Phantom, the spacecraft they were going to show off, ensuring perfection. To someone who didn't know better, this ship might look simple, but it was actually filled with some of the smartest technology for making it invisible by bending light and radar. Remember, the real trick with the Phantom isn't just about staying hidden, Elena told her team. It's about showing that even though our ship isn't big or strong, it's smart and clever. We need to get this right without any mistakes. Everyone agreed and went over the plan once more. They made sure they knew exactly what to do and when. Training the crew. The pilot practiced flying the ship in patterns around the space station, making it disappear and reappear from different spots. They had done this many times before to make sure they were ready. Choosing the Phantom for the show was no random choice. It was made for stealth missions and had a special coating that messed with tracking signals. In the planning room, Elena's lead engineer, Dr. Singh, showed the new crew members how it worked. You see, the ship's outer layer can change to blend in with space, just like a chameleon blends into its surroundings. Dr. Singh explained, pointing to the screens that showed the ship's surface changing during a test. It's not just hidden. It's almost like it's not there at all. Detailed simulations. Training the crew involved a lot of practice with simulators and real tests in distant areas where no one could watch. Each person was picked for their skills and courage, trained to fly a ship they couldn't even see once it was in stealth mode. Keep alert and keep it quiet, Elena told her pilot, Lieutenant Hara, during a final practice. Once we go stealth, you have to trust your instruments and what you've learned. Maintaining secrecy. News that humans were planning a surprise for the Galactic Council had spread, and the station's hallways were filled with quiet chatter. Hall and delegates from the Soltrax Confederacy, who had some of the best tracking tech, laughed off the news. A human ship we can't see. Ridiculous. Ambassador Thrill mocked, his 4 eyes blinking out of sync. Do they think they can shock us with simple tricks? The big day approaches. Captain Mirov's determination. Elena met these doubts directly, always politely but firmly pushing back on the other species' underestimation of her team. These talks often showed how the others looked down on humans as newbies playing with old tech. Despite the friendly smiles and nods from others, Captain Elena Merov became even more determined. Every dismissive comment made her even more focused on proving her point during the demonstration, wanting to show the entire galaxy what Earth could really do. Preparing for the show. As the big day approached, everyone felt the tension. Elena checked every detail, knowing well that this event could lift humanity's status or confirm what others saw them as lesser. The risk was huge, but the chance to change minds was too good to pass up. The team felt nervous yet excited as they prepared to unveil their groundbreaking technology. The final run-through. The final run-through was intense. Every move was choreographed, every word rehearsed. Captain Merov's team knew that they had one shot to make an impression. They reviewed the flight patterns, the activation sequences of the Phantom Weave, and the deployment of the Aura Shield. Nothing was left to chance. The Galactic Council assembles. On the day of the presentation, the Galactic Council members began to gather in the vast hall. Delegates from various star systems arrived in their opulent ships, each one a symbol of their respective species' technological prowess. The atmosphere was a mix of anticipation and skepticism. The human delegation's arrival. When the human delegation arrived, they were met with polite nods and curious glances. Captain Merov, leading her team, walked with a calm confidence that belied the nervous energy bubbling beneath the surface. They were escorted to their designated area, where the Phantom sat in its seemingly simple glory. The demonstration. The presentation begins. As the delegates settled in, the lights in the hall dimmed, and a hush fell over the room. A holographic display flickered to life, showing the Earth, then zooming in on the hidden research facility where the Phantom was developed. Captain Merov stepped forward, her voice steady and clear as she began to speak. The technological marvel. Distinguished members of the Galactic Council, today we present to you the culmination of years of research and innovation. She began. What you see here may appear simple, but it represents a quantum leap in stealth technology. The Phantom in action. With a nod, she signaled to the pilot. The Phantom Weave and Aura Shield activated, and the spacecraft began to shimmer. The delegates watched in stunned silence as the ship slowly disappeared from view. The room filled with gasps and murmurs as the ship became completely invisible. Impressive stealth. Elena continued. Our ship, the Phantom, can become undetectable to the most advanced tracking systems. It can evade radar, sonar, and even visual detection. She paused to let the impact of her words sink in. This technology is not just a display of human ingenuity, but a promise of what we can achieve together as a united galaxy. Council's reaction. The council members were visibly impressed. Some leaned forward in their seats, others whispered among themselves. Ambassador Thrill, who had been so dismissive earlier, now looked genuinely intrigued. The demonstration continued as the Phantom reappeared and disappeared seamlessly, proving its advanced stealth capabilities. Questions and doubts. After the initial presentation, the floor was open for questions. Delegates from various species asked about the technical specifications, the energy requirements, and the potential applications of such technology. Captain Merov and her team answered each question with confidence and clarity, showcasing not just the technology, but the depth of human knowledge and determination. Changing perceptions, gaining respect. As the questions continued, it became clear that the human delegation had made a significant impact. The Galactic Council members were no longer dismissive. They were engaged, curious, and most importantly, respectful. The perception of humans had shifted from being underestimated to being recognized as formidable and resourceful. Elena's address. Captain Elena Merov addressed the council once more. This is just the beginning of what humanity can achieve. We may be seen as a young species, but we are innovative, determined, and capable of great things. Our technology is a testament to our resilience and ingenuity. Acknowledging the team. She took a moment to acknowledge her team. None of this would have been possible without the brilliant minds and tireless efforts of my colleagues. Dr. Lion Shane, whose groundbreaking codes made our stealth technology possible. Maya Rivera, whose work in materials science has redefined our capabilities. And Lieutenant Hara, whose skill and precision piloted the Phantom today. The final test. To conclude the demonstration, Elena proposed a final test. We invite any member of the Council to attempt to detect our ship using their most advanced tracking systems. We are confident that the Phantom will remain undetected. The challenge accepted. Several delegates accepted the challenge, eager to test the human technology. They activated their ship's most sophisticated sensors, scanning the area where the Phantom was last seen. Despite their best efforts, the Phantom remained invisible, eluding every attempt to locate it, proving their worth. This final test solidified humanity's newfound respect among the Galactic Council. The delegates were not just impressed, they were in awe. The human delegation had proven their worth and showcased their potential to contribute significantly to the galaxy's technological advancements. A new era for humanity. Post-demonstration discussions. After the demonstration, the atmosphere in the hall was transformed. Delegates who had previously ignored or dismissed the human representatives now approached them with genuine interest. They discussed potential collaborations, trade agreements, and shared technological advancements. Building alliances, Captain Marov and her team found themselves at the center of numerous discussions. Their success had opened doors to new alliances and opportunities. Species that had once viewed humans as insignificant were now eager to work with them, recognizing the value of their innovative spirit. Reflecting on the journey. As the day drew to a close, Elena found a quiet moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. From the initial discovery of the Phantom Weave to the countless hours of research and development, to the nerve-wracking final preparations and the triumphant demonstration, it had all been worth it. A bright future. She looked around at her team, who were engaged in animated conversations with delegates from across the galaxy. They had done it. They had changed the perception of humanity on the galactic stage. The future was bright, filled with possibilities and new horizons to explore. Closing speech. In her closing speech to the Council, Elena summed up the significance of their achievement. Today, we have shown that humanity is not just a young species finding its way. We are pioneers, innovators, and partners. Together, we can achieve greatness, pushing the boundaries of what is possible and exploring the vast wonders of our galaxy. A new beginning. The demonstration marked the beginning of a new chapter for humanity. With their advanced stealth technology, they had earned a place among the galaxy's most advanced species. The road ahead was filled with challenges and opportunities, but Captain Elena Marov and her team were ready to face them head-on, confident in their abilities and driven by the spirit of human ingenuity and resilience.